A little bit of a teaser for an upcoming video tomorrow. What we're going to be talking about is this subject of 5G. Now, many folks have talked about this on YouTube and in other venues, but one thing that I have not seen is anyone actually describing the technology. It takes advantage of a part of the broadcast spectrum called millimeter waves. And in the early 2000s, late 1990s, millimeter waves were researched as a type of radiation to use to kill insects. Now, do that math in your head about a worldwide die-off of insects and what that might bode for the agriculture in a country. And we'll just leave that there. But as promised, earlier today I stated that I was going to put up a video on the Patreon channel that dealt with basic techniques for removing a corpse if you were forced to do that in an unfortunate situation where there was no authority and the law had broken down. It's very simple. It's very straightforward, but just some basics that some things people might not know. But ironically, when I was doing it, it got me thinking about something that there is no shortage of videos and websites out there that'll teach you how to operate a deadly weapon, but almost none that tell you how to deal with the aftermath, which shows me that the vast majority of the people out there giving training on how to use a weapon, a deadly weapon, some type of a rifle or a handgun, have never used one in real life. They're most likely just video game guys. Because if they had, they would realize that the next logical step would be training someone as to how to deal with the after effects, meaning the body. So if you can find those, good luck. But now in that same vein, earlier today I put out a video talking about 5 techniques that did not require a deadly weapon that you could use to effect efficient survival offensive operations. And it caused a giant flight of the gun crowd that had been inundating and trolling my videos on the one I did on 7-Eleven here that had over 600,000 views. They had kind of moved away from this one and started trolling one that I had done 3 days earlier on 7/8 that pretty much talked about the same thing, but more in the vein of how survival techniques are already in play in places like Colombia and Venezuela, and the vast majority of the garbage that's put out by gunners on YouTube is just, it's bunk, because it just doesn't work in a survival situation. And I think this video really hit home for them, because if you can go out with all of your training and all of your rifles and your techniques and everything that you've learned, and you can pull your weapon and get a sight picture, and then within a matter of seconds you're blind, and the person who blinded you could be over a quarter of a mile away, and it's at night, and you don't know where they are, and all you know is you can't see. I don't care how much training you've had, or how big your rifle is, or how many rounds you have, you're toast. And the most ironic thing about it is this: for years and years and years, the gunner crowd has waved this guns don't kill people, people kill people thing out there, and you're absolutely right. Totally right. 100% agree with that statement. So disable the person, not the gun. You know, all the ideas of body armor and how to keep from getting hit by a round and tactical evasion and all this kind of stuff. Just blind the shooter. It's something a 7-year-old can do. I mean, imagine if you would. Oh, and by the way, for those of you out there who think they're going to go out and get glasses to... I sure hope you have all 4 pairs of glasses that you would need, and that you just so happen to have the right pair of glasses on at the time, because there's one for red, there's one for blue, there's one for green, there's one for purple, and they don't work against, you know, the other colors. And even the ones that, if you would happen to have the right ones on, yeah, you're probably not going to get the eye damage, but you're not going to make a sight picture of anything. This is what you're going to see. You aren't going to hit anything. And you can do spray and pray all you want, but at that point, what good is your training? None. And the chances of you hitting somebody at that distance, especially when you're blind, and believe me, at night, when you all of a sudden go blind and the pain involved with it, the last thing that you're going to be thinking about is offensive operations. And like I said, this isn't anything new. It's an easy thing to do. It's something, like I said, a disabled person can do, elderly person can do, a child can do. It doesn't require a deadly weapon. We talked about the smoke bombs. I mean, imagine that. I mean, even if you went outside, whoops, wrong one. And looks like I might have got, oh no, wait, there it is. You go out and just kid smoke bombs. Forget your sight picture. And they could be winging these things at you with those wrist rockets from all sorts of directions. You're half blind. I mean, imagine all of that training and all of that investment, and you get taken down by, 6 15-year-olds with just a little bit of organization and some smarts. It really reminds me of the British when they came here and thought that they were going to use their vaunted military to take out the colonists. Modern day gunners are like the British because they've fallen behind on technology, and they don't realize that their handguns and all of their training, and even if you have a laser scope and all this kind of stuff, is going to mean nothing if you're blind. And the ability to blind someone is now easily available on the internet. And in a shit hits the fan scenario where you can't call the cops and you can't call 911, and you go out at night and someone has taken away your ability to see with something that they got online for 50, 100, 200, maybe $400, and they've done it from half a mile away, quarter mile away, or they use, like I said, smoke bombs they got online where you can't see anything. It's not your daddy's world anymore. Everything has changed completely. And you're going to have to change with it, or you're going to end up like the British did, being completely and utterly humiliated on the battlefield. And one of the most important places I would like to see people armed is not in the physical battlefield, but on the information battlefield. And that's what we do here at the Florida Maquis Patreon channel. And I know a lot of folks are like, oh, why are you hawking your channel? Well, I'll tell you what. Information is the new deadly weapon. It really is. It has changed so much in the last years. And I was watching something earlier where they said it used to be a man's home is his castle. Now it's a man's phone is his castle, because most people's entire lives are in their smartphones. And if you don't understand the techniques that are being used to manipulate you, you might never. And there are 5 videos. It's not like some Patreon channels that'll maybe put out a video every other week, or 2 videos, or, maybe one will be 3 minutes or one will be 28 minutes. We have a schedule here. We absolutely have a schedule. Mondays is Saturdays is the basic level, Secret Scroll Saturday. We have Roundtable on Sunday. We have McKee Masters Monday, Top Secret Tuesdays, and Need to Know Wednesdays. Thursdays and Fridays are bonus videos. So you get a great deal of content. And it's all professional training that talks about psychological warfare, information warfare. I reveal things here I don't reveal on the YouTube channel about my past, my training, and about things you may not even know are going on. So I will leave that there, but do understand there is a new style of warfare coming, and it's going to take a lot of people by surprise. And if you're not equipped for it and you don't understand it, you're going to be victim to it. So we will leave it there. But to those who have come to these videos, the 163,000 here and the 593,000 here, greatly appreciated. Thank you for all of your input. I appreciate it more than you know. Like, share, subscribe, and we will see you next time. Thank you.